Human beings are amazing and complex creatures, and so companies have come up with many ways to try to motivate their employees to perform better. I'd like to talk about one of the tools used in performance management systems, forced ranking, what it is and why I believe we should get rid of it. Performance appraisals are very expensive, complex systems for making people unhappy, says Kevin Murphy, a senior research scientist at Colorado State University. Let's start off with where it came from. As a company, you would like to put the best people at the top in decision-making roles. In order to do this, you need to identify and promote these individuals. Furthermore, in a competitive market environment, the need arises to motivate employees to perform at their utmost best. People think that this can be done by handing out benefits in larger quantities to top performers than to the rest. Managers are usually in a good position to tell you who the best performers are, only they are plagued by something called grade inflation. Receiving a low score might anger an employee and thus harm their performance. This will make the manager look bad because it's her job to get people to perform. So when you simply ask a manager to score employees, everyone does well. The simplest way to solve this problem is to ask the manager to score employees relative to each other, ranking them top to bottom. No two employees score the same. You can now use this rank list to hand out benefits. The largest amount goes to number 1, slightly less to number 2, and so on and so on. The system is fair, and you've motivated everyone to try a little harder next time around. Or so you think. I believe that forced ranking hurts your company more than it does good. If you know you're going to be ranked against your colleagues, there's no way in which this will motivate you to share information or help your colleagues. Obviously, this system motivates the top 10%. They like winning and hearing that they're the best. They are promoted into decision-making roles and, having always found the system fair, choose to keep it in place. But the situation is very different for the other 90% of your employees. These are people who generally come to work and get the job done. They are people with families, with homes and with children. Usually they like working. It's part of human nature to want to contribute to society, so working fulfills a very basic human need for them. They are not lazy. This group is the heart and the soul of your company. This is the majority of your company. They are the muscle in the machine, the engine which enables your company to move forward. If you can motivate this group of people, then you've won. Unfortunately, forced ranking doesn't motivate this group. At a company which hires the best of the best, people aren't used to hearing that they're average, and it most definitely doesn't inspire them. They are now focusing on where they fit in the ranking rather than on creating long-term value for the company. So let me be very clear about this. By using forced ranking, you are actively demotivating 90% of your workforce. I think that those of you who are working at a company using forced ranking will know how hard it is to get people to work together in such an environment. 6% of Fortune 500 companies have gotten rid of rankings. This includes companies like Accenture, General Electric, Microsoft, and IBM. These companies say their own research as well as outside studies convinced them in the end that all the time, money, and effort spent wasn't worthwhile because it didn't ultimately accomplish their main goal, to drive better performance. But unfortunately, there are still companies which use this outdated system. I believe that we can do better than this. There are other systems out there, systems which inspire people to do well and work together. These systems are generally more goal-oriented. This helps employees align their performance with their companies instead of competing with each other. While it's true that a bunch of major corporations have made the jump, unfortunately there are still many companies stuck in this outdated system. If you work for such a company, I hope that you will realize that the system is flawed and can be replaced with something better. Go ahead, make the jump.